Humanity is surrounded by all types of negative types of things. You have the world you live in, which is pretty much constantly trying to kill you. And if you really think about it, these cities we live in, these orchestrated systems of oppression, all of them are designed to keep you down. All of them are designed to brainwash your mind. Then you have the media propaganda. And when you see the media is not there to inform you. The news is there as a form of mind control. If you understand the connection the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, has with the media and the news, then you understand why it's always inflammatory. When you watch the news, don't you notice that it talks about, okay, this person died here, this person, this happened, there's a recall, there's metal found in this chicken, there's a salmonella outbreak, there's, some type of cancer causing chemical in the cereal, even though they already have that naturally that they put in there, but there's like other things. And you look at it like, what the fuck? It's always geared towards war or geared towards to get your mind in a negative energetic frequency, fear. You see, this world thrives off of fear. It thrives off of people who just are easily controlled emotionally. And that's one thing that I've worked on is controlling my emotions because I understand that there's invisible negative energetic entities that feed on our energy. They literally feed off our energy. Now, not everybody believes this, and I understand because it seems like some mumble jumble fantasy shit. But if you really look at life clearly and concisely and precisely, you'll see that something has to be feeding off of our negative circumstances. Some invisible being or beings, demons, whatever you want to call them, demons, archons, whatever you want to call them. They put people in certain situations, not just me, but there's other people that tell me that they're going through the exact same shit that I'm going through. And when you look at the world, you look at World War One, World War Two, the Napoleonic Wars. All these wars were pretty much hostile to humanity. It killed millions of people, you know. And then you look at what's going on today. You look at the immigration issue. If you look at Europe, and even though if you look through Europe's past and all that, with like the ancient times, you know what I mean? Like you see that, um, like everywhere around the world, the indigenous people, you know, always are a certain way, and then over time, different types of things come, and then, you know, after thousands of years, the indigenous people get replaced by, what are indigenous. Look at the cavemen and shit like that, the Neanderthal, whatever the hell they call them. Like those were humans millions of years ago, whatever, that inhabited all these lands, and there was different types of human species and all that. And it's interesting, like if you really think about it, humanity hasn't even evolved past the caveman days. It's just now everything has more advanced technological touch, nuclear missiles, these cities with lights in them, cars, airplanes, computers, all that. But if you think about it fundamentally and essentially, you'll see that people are still hitting each other over the head with a caveman club, pretty much. And this world just seems hostile to certain people. Certain people, they can try to go places, try to do things, and it seems like the world is always attacking them. I'm not just talking about me personally, no. I already know I'm in the streets of Stalingrad. I'm fighting at Pavlov's house, the grain elevator. If you know history, you know what I'm talking about. The Riaz meat grinder, stuff like that. The Brest Fortress. In case people that know all my history buffs, you know what the Brest Fortress, when the Wehrmacht first entered Russia, and that big fortress where they fought hand to hand, tooth to nail. Some Russian soldiers even grabbed table legs and tried to fight the German tanks and flamethrowers. It's crazy, but humanity is always at war with itself, it seems like, or there's beings that are orchestrating the strings behind the scenes with their schemes and evil plans that are just destroying humanity. Because these world leaders, they act so anti-human, cutting people's food stamps, raising the inflation, people that continuously, wage slave or whatever, and they still can't get anywhere far. It's why I always hold on to my hopes, dreams, and ambitions, and I suggest you guys do the same. Even when things look bleak, even when things look meek, even when things look like you're surrounded by defeat, you know. And another thing that's underestimated is that not having that good girl in your life. People underestimate that. That's why you have this, you know, these red pill gurus and these other men organizations that talk about, oh man, just take a cold shower and just brush your hair. It's like, bro, it's deeper than that. We all know it comes down to looks, especially nowadays. It's not like back in the days in the 70s where you could just be, just a regular 9 to 5 and have a wife and take care of a family of three and have another summer house. And you know what I mean? Like the inflation has destroyed and decimated the middle class for most people. It's like nowadays, if you don't have a side hustle or something that's going for yourself, it's very difficult to get ahead financially, economically. And this is why in this community I wanted to build, but it seems like a lot of people, in this community, it's just a bunch of trolls and a bunch of people that are desperately want to be stuck. Like they don't want to think about traveling the world. Like I want to travel the world still. I may be old, like I'm a lot older than a lot of you guys. And actually I got people that are I got some people that are in their 50s that listen to me too. I had a few of them email me like, and tell me like, hey man, stay strong, blah blah blah. Just tell me keep doing your thing. Woo, woo. I get emails of encouragement from time to time. I've always had even when I had my first 100 subscribers, I've always was emailing my subscribers. I was doing this on my other channels, just talking to people. I first it started from people from Xbox Live. Then it was real random people that But if you look at this world closely, this whole world's designed to drain you. It's designed to break you. It's designed to make you snap. And they do it with the money, the banking system. I was gonna make a video on the Federal Reserve, but I was just like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, I actually got to sit down and make a real presentation with that one. But look up how the Federal Reserve was created and implemented and integrated to society. Then you'll see, like, hey, we're being robbed blind. But if you notice that people are just getting more evil and more nastier, and when you're a person that's in a position where your back's against the wall, you're gonna have to go hard. It's the reason why I still make beats, make videos, um, do a little rapping from time to time. Even though every single video I make is being monitored closely by my enemies and spies, people that despise me. It's like I don't know how these people even found me. You know what I mean? Honestly, I had a rap channel that had over 700 freestyles. No one cared. So it's like the content we make in this community. You have to search for this. This is something you don't just stumble upon. No one just stumbles upon my channel. You have to search for this. And then the question is why? It's because most people are bastards and evil. You know what I mean? And if you're really doing something good with your life, you're not going to stumble upon black pill content and stalk somebody, listen to their videos and talk shit. It's just weird. So don't you have something better to do? You know. Another thing I learned too is never really tell your dreams and ambitions and shit like that, because little do you know, people's mind. People say, "Oh, it doesn't matter what people think." That's true. It doesn't matter what they think, but you got to understand when it comes to hate and jealousy, envy, whatever, is a powerful emotion. So when somebody listens to you saying you want to do this, you want to do that, and you say it out to the universe, they can have envy in their hearts and they can think about what you said. And if you get enough people, they can actually try to like almost derail your life and turn it to a derelict. That's why they say never tell your dreams and ambitions to people, because they can think something and create some type of energy and send it towards you pretty much with their thoughts. It sounds ridiculous, but I think the CIA had a test for that. I should have just done a video on that. But like, human beings are a lot more psychic and intuitive than we give credit for. I remember this one girl, Kelta. She had a channel called Satan and Sons. And I don't think she posted it a little bit, but she kind of does like content like this in a way. And on her backup channel, she was talking about how you got to be very careful talking about what you want to do in life around certain people. And you got to be very careful because not everybody wants you to win. You know, you may have people in your family, people, friends, people at school you just met, or whatever. Not everybody want to see you win. You know, I remember a while back, I went to Long Beach City College in California. I remember there's like this little project, like a writing project, and I'm good at writing, but like the English class, like you had to like write the essay, and then the teacher wanted us to read it out loud. It's crazy, right? But that's what she wanted. She wanted us to read our essays out loud because she was talking about how like it improves our reading comprehension to make us more confident or something she was saying. And also she was like an ex-police officer. She was an older white lady or whatever. But she wanted us like we turned our essays in, then by the end of the month she wanted us to like read our essays out loud. And at first she wanted us to memorize them. We like, oh, you can't do all that. And she's like, okay, well you can read your essays then. And you can put it on projector screens so everybody else can see it. Or you can just read it, the paper. And I put mine on the projector and I read it slowly, and everybody was like, wow. I can tell they're looking at me like, how does this black guy, you know, can speak can articulate so well? That's because I spent years reading declassified Central Intelligence documents and documents from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. So when I talk about certain things, I'm not just talking out my ass. The CIA really does have a psychological program that brainwash the masses. It's called radio hypnotic cerebral control, And I had a video on that, but then it's like I made a mistake in the video, so I just took it down, you know. But the whole world is designed to control your mind. It's designed to make you into a slave, into the grave. It feels like this whole realm is just to torture our souls. Is this just a realm of torture, agony, pain? Because it feels like it.